Today we're going to be going thrifting all day, which means it's going to be a Celsius day. I think we'll go with Oasis vibe today. Okay, that just got everywhere. So hello and welcome. My name is Bianca and this is a place to inspire and to be inspired. I love all things crafting and creating on a budget. So I want to go to all of my favorite thrift stores today, which means I'm going to be driving all over town today. My house is here and a couple of the thrift stores are 45 minutes this way and then a few of them are 45 minutes this way. So whichever one I go to first, I'm going to be driving like an hour and a half to get to the other few, but that's okay. We have all day. Not only do I want to look for good fall staple pieces, but I also want to look for some decor. We finally started our kitchen renovation and typically I do my filming on Mondays and Tuesdays. Today is a Monday and it's really hard to film in a house when there's construction. If you know, you know. But since I'm going to be out of the house today, he decided to start laying the tile. So I am really excited to see how much progress is made when I get home today. And I will definitely try to include some little clips of the progress on our kitchen renovation at the end of this video. But for our first thrift store of the day, I figured we would go to Red, White, and Blue thrift store. Now the Red, White, and Blue thrift store is mostly clothes. I've never had good luck with the home goods at the Red, White, and Blue thrift store. But around that same area, there is a really great thrift store that has a ton of home decor. And we will be going there because I want to get some new home decor pieces for the living room and the kitchen. I think I went off on a little bit of a tangent when I mentioned the home renovation, but the whole reason why I want to go look at some home goods as well as clothes is because of the renovation that we're doing. So we're going to keep an eye out for some cute home decor pieces as well as clothes today. And I also want to look through the bed sheets at every thrift store we go to because I want to make a quilted jacket soon. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned for that video because I will be sharing it. So basically for today, I'm just going to be thrifting for everything and anything I can find that speaks to me. So let's go. I decided I would start in the shoe section today. I did find a pair of these chocolate brown buckled leather boots that I thought were really cute. Even though I did just splurge on a pair from Anthropologie, they didn't have a buckle detail like these did, but when I opened them up, the inside was completely falling apart, so there's no way these were coming home with me. And I looked through the rest of the boots and I couldn't find anything that was cute and in my size. I looked through the handbags, couldn't find anything in the handbags either. They did have a ton of Vera Bradley though, but none of it was in great shape. Moving on to the sweaters. I don't usually look through the sweaters because I live in Florida, but they had like 3 of the same sweater. They had different price tags from the Red, White, and Blue thrift store. One was $25 and then one was like half that. So I saw that as my sign to take it. And now onto the skirts. I love finding patterns like this because I feel like they really fit the vibe for boho or hippie-esque upcycles. I didn't love the color palette of this one though, and I'm also not familiar with this brand, but I did find this purple paisley skirt. It's kind of like purple and violet. I liked how muted it was, but then it had that pop of the brighter indigo. And I think this fabric would make a really cool upcycle. I didn't find nearly as many skirts this thrift trip as I did in my last one. I think that my cart was half full just from the skirts section. Moving on to the dresses, I found this maxi dress that has a cowl neck detail, which I think is a unique neckline, and I don't have a lot of cowl neck tops. But I don't love this dress as is, so I think if I were to purchase this, I would just use the fabric to flip. And I'm shocked that I found this Reformation dress. I haven't looked it up yet, but I bet this retails for a couple $100s. Unfortunately, I'm really not a fan of this print. It's cute, but it's very summery, springy, and then for the price, it's just not worth it to even use it for fabric. And on my way to the jackets and the tops, I wanted to go through the sheets just to see if I could find any cute patterns that would work for a quilted jacket. I am not seeing any fun patterns that I would want to use, so maybe I'll have better luck at one of the other thrift stores. I really want to find a vintage black leather jacket. When I was in New York City last, I went to some thrift shops and vintage shops, and I found the perfect vintage leather jacket, but they wanted $300 for it. And honestly, all of the vintage and thrift stores I went to in New York City were just astronomically overpriced. And I'm still on the hunt for good statement belts. I need more brown leather belts with either silver or gold detailing. I was walking by this return rack and I thought that this velvety skirt might be cute, but the material felt really, really cheap. But then for the blouses, I found this paisley top. I really liked the color scheme. It's like a maroon and then a rust color. The brand is Sanctuary. I'm not really familiar with it, and I already have a vision on what I can turn this into. And to turn this top into something similar, all I would really need is some elastic. Okay, so at the Red, White, and Blue thrift store, we got 4 items for $26. So the first thing was this sweater. I thought it was too cute. It's just very winter-esque, and it was brand new with the tags on, and blue was also 50% off, so I got it for $6. And of course, I got this paisley skirt that I want to turn into something. Ugh. I might keep this as a skirt, or I might turn it into something else. I'm not sure yet. And then I got this dress. I didn't even pay attention to what size it was because I don't want to use this as a dress. I think I want to cut off the top portion and make this into like a little blouse. And then maybe with the bottom portion here, I could turn this into a skirt. So I think out of this one piece, I have enough fabric to make multiple things, like a matching set maybe, or just a top and a skirt that don't necessarily have to be paired together. And then last, I got another paisley top. It's not stretchy. I was really hoping to find some stretchy material because I haven't done an upcycle with stretchy material in a while. I think it's just a lot easier to make it fit because you have a lot more wiggle room. But so yeah, that's everything we got from the first thrift store. We're going to go to a home goods thrift store. They don't really have much for clothes, but they have a huge home goods section. So that's going to be our next stop. The last time I came here, I found so much good stuff, so I was pretty hopeful that today would be just as successful. I started off in the vases, and I found this tiny little vase. The last time I found a really tiny vase, it turned out it wasn't a vase at all. It was meant for creamer. So you guys can let me know if I was right on this one or not. This place has aisles of little knickknacks like this. And speaking of knickknacks, I've been really wanting to find a wooden knickknack shelf. Now that I think about it, I think they're actually called trinket shelves, but I've never seen one at a thrift store, so I have a feeling they're hard to come by, but fingers crossed that one day I can find a trinket shelf to put all my little knickknacks on. Moving on to the dishware, I found this vintage peach lusterware. I have a very small collection started of peach lusterware, but I don't have this specific dish. So I'm just deciding if I want to add this to my collection or not. And then I also found this dish. I have something very similar to this, but it has a little strawberry pattern on it. I feel like I'm always gravitating towards shades of orange and green. And I found another peach lusterware dish. This one came with the lid. So now I could possibly add 2 more dishes to my collection. But then I found a vintage Pyrex set. This one is green with the little white flowers. And then the other one I found was white with the little green flowers. The internal struggle I had deciding which set to buy. Editing this footage and looking back, I don't know if I made the right decision. They also have a pretty good furniture selection here, but I wasn't able to find anything today except for this Tiffany lamp, and it was exactly the price I was expecting it to be. Moving on to thrift store number 3, I started off in the handbags again, and I found this suede bag. It is genuine suede, so that was a plus. I think I already have a bag that is the same brand, but I just don't like how short the strap is on this. I found this maxi skirt. It has it's like a stretchy corduroy material, and then it has these center panels that have a paisley pattern. But a part of me feels like this looks really cheap, but then another part of me feels like this has some potential. I'm not familiar with this brand, but I can kind of see the vision on how I would style this. I'm just not sure about those panels with the paisley pattern, but you know I do love paisley. And I picked up this dress because I liked the brown and like ivory striped pattern, but I don't really like the paneling of the fabric. But sometimes I surprise myself after I try something on that I don't think I initially love. And I spotted this dress from a mile away. The color palette and the pattern are just so good. I immediately saw so much potential of what I can use this fabric for. I don't even care that it's an extra small and it probably won't fit me. I need this for the fabric. Also, I hate when I find something that's cute, but then the tag is cut out. It makes me question where it's from, and I don't want to accidentally buy secondhand Shein. Once again, looking through the bed sheets, I did not have any luck at this thrift store either. I did find this cute little strawberry sheet, but it wasn't cute enough to turn into a jacket. But I did see this fleece blanket. I don't know about this being a quilted jacket, but maybe I could make a fleece pullover with this. I was thinking maybe for a future project, I could use a bunch of scarves that have similar color palettes and then combine them together to kind of make like a patchwork skirt or something. But I couldn't find any scarves that I loved here. I did an upcycle on a top that looks very similar to this one. I like that it's stretchy, so I feel like it has good upcycle potential. And I also found this green long sleeve silk Chico's top. I like the color and the material, but I'm not a fan of this neckline. I'm just not a fan of this bedazzling. But from my experience, this should be pretty easy to remove. I know silk material can be really finicky, but this one is super wrinkly, and I feel like maybe if I steamed it, it would have an even better shape to it. Now this top has great upcycle potential. It's super stretchy and I love the pattern. I'm thinking I can turn this into something like one of these maybe, and it would be a very easy alteration. I'm not even sure why I picked this one up. I'm not a fan of tie-dye, but I liked the colors in this and it kind of reminded me of a geode. And I hate when I'm stuck in line and the candy is just staring at me. I picked up some lunch because I was getting some serious hunger pains while I was thrifting. So normally from Crisp and Green, I get the curry bowl, but I guess they discontinued that. So this is the Verde chicken bowl. But before I can eat that, I want to show you guys what I did end up buying from that last thrift store. So I did purchase this Silk Chico's long sleeve top. It's 100% silk. I definitely want to change the neckline of this. And what if I cut it down the center and then added a tie to the front, so it was like a little tie front cardigan, and then I could wear it over a cami or a tank top? I feel like that would be really cute. I also want to get rid of these little jewels on it because it's a little bit tacky to me. And then I also got this paisley. It's like a green and brown paisley pattern, but this material is super stretchy and it's a tank top. So this will be a really fun upcycle. Like I said, I haven't done an upcycle on stretchy fabric in a while, and I have a bunch of ideas, maybe something like one of these. This will definitely be a future video. And then probably one of my favorite pieces of the day so far is this Zara dress. I love the pattern on this and the colors. I think it's so pretty. I don't really like this style of dress. It has like the ruffle sleeves. It's pretty, but I think I'm gonna change the neckline if I keep it as a dress. Oh, or maybe I could turn this into a two-piece matching set. There's a lot of fabric here, so I could make a little midi flowy skirt and then maybe make a matching halter top or something to go with it. And at that thrift store, I spent $22. And I did get some home goods pieces from the other thrift store that I went to, but everything is wrapped up in paper. So I'm gonna have to wait till I get home to show you guys. We have one more thrift store to go to after I eat this. Normally by the end of the day like this, I get super burnt out from thrifting. So chances are I'm not gonna wanna spend a bunch of time thrifting after I eat this food. I'm probably just gonna wanna go home, start washing what I have, and relax. But we'll see. Maybe when I get in there, we'll have some luck, and maybe I can find some more pieces to style as is that I don't have to do alterations to. At this point, I'm just tired and I want to go home, but we must continue. I found this tiered skirt. It's between a midi and a maxi, so I feel like the length is kind of awkward, but I did like the color of it. And then I found this little red skirt. This is like bright red, the brightest red I think I've ever seen. I'm not a fan of the color, but I guess it's possible I could dye it either dark brown or black maybe. I just don't know if I like it enough to go through all of that trouble, so I think I'm gonna have to pass. And I saw this navy blue maxi dress, and it's a very stretchy material, and I thought that maybe I could use this for the fabric. I'm not in love with the pattern, but it's okay. And I guess $8 isn't a bad price. I'm gonna have to think about this one. I love this black and tan striped skirt. It's stretchy, but I don't want to use the fabric for a different project. I think I would want to keep this as a skirt because I've seen very similar styles to this. And then I found this yellow glittery long sleeve top. I liked the hardware on the front, but this material is super shiny and I'm not really sure where I would wear this. So probably gonna have to pass on this one. I feel like this definitely gives a vintage vibe, but I'm not familiar with this brand, so I'm not sure if it's actually vintage or not. I love a graphic long sleeve and I really like the pattern on this and the colors. Unfortunately, it looks like the tag was cut out, so I have no idea what brand this is. Okay, it's only 5 o'clock, but it's already getting so dark out, so I kind of feel like it's gonna start storming soon. But I only got one item from our last thrift store, and it's just this stretchy striped skirt. It's kind of like a, I don't know what you call this style, but it's similar to like one of these. And I got this for $6, so definitely a deal compared to buying it brand new from a fast fashion website. This brand, a pea in the pod. Oh, it's a maternity. I didn't realize this was a maternity skirt, but I feel like once I take in the waist, it'll fit perfectly anyway. I think it's really cute, and I definitely have some ideas on how I want to style this. So now we can head home. We can see how the progress is coming along with our new flooring. And then I can also show you our box of home goods that we got from the other thrift store. Okay, so before I show you guys the home goods that I got, I want to show you guys how I would style this sweater. And I figured I might as well try this dress on as is and try to style it. And if I don't like the dress as is, then we can make a plan for the fabric on what I can turn it into. Also for this is so cute. It's just a little bit big and it needs to be altered on the sides. But I want to kind of show you guys what it would look like by pinching the sides. So hang on a sec. Okay, so it's just a little bit big at the waist. So if I just did a straight stitch down each side and kind of wore it like mid-rise, it's so cute. And I feel like it would look good with flip-flops or just really casual sandals. But I think it could also be styled for fall if I wore it with boots and a jacket maybe. And this will be so easy to alter. Okay, so here's how this dress looks on. I don't hate it, but there's something really weird about this top portion because it's really tight on the bust, but at the same time, these skinny straps are really loose. So give me any suggestions on what you guys think I could turn this into, or if you think I should just keep it as is. Next, I'm going to show you guys how I would style that sweater. I don't know where I put it. This is not giving what I thought it would be giving. The way I pictured styling this, I thought it was going to be so cute. It's kind of frumpy. I don't like it. Let me try again. Okay, I feel like this is better, right? And I also have this little bow hair clip. I feel like if I did a little half up, half down, and then have the bow in the back, I feel like this is a very holiday party outfit, kind of. And then I have these sheer tights. Actually, they look like sheer tights, but they're not. They are lined with fleece, so you can wear these in the winter and stay warm. I guess it depends where you live. For a Florida winter, you could definitely wear these. And then I just paired it with my little mini skirt from Princess Polly. And now I can show you guys all of my little knickknacks from the thrift store. Can you guys hear that? I keep his litter box in the bathroom. 9 times out of 10, he gets the poop zoomies. Do you have poop zoomies? I guess he doesn't have poop zoomies today. So I found some vintage Pyrex. There was a matching set. I got this one. And I also got this one. This one came with the lid. This one did not, and then I also ended up taking home these little dishes, and I just thought the colors were so pretty. I love a deep burnt orange or like a rust red, and these are the perfect shade of orange in my opinion. So yeah, very excited about these. And now on to like the more knick-knacky trinket type items. I thought this was so cute, but I already know when I show Kyle, he's gonna ask where I plan on putting this. I don't know, but she's just so cute and she has a little rooster. Yeah, I definitely didn't need to buy this, but here we are. I love ducks. If you don't already know, my cat's name is Duck, but I do wish we also had ducks. Maybe this is just me manifesting the day that I can have pet ducks. I did end up buying this little teeny tiny vase. I have been on the hunt for a mini vase because I collect his whiskers when I find them on the floor, and I've been wanting a little tiny vase to put them in so that they're like sprouting out of it, but unfortunately this is too tall. But it's still really cute though. All right, and that is going to be all for today's thrift haul, and until next week, bye!